Hi YouTube, this is Jake Shirley Coaching, and today we're talking about what is the credit score and do you need one? I'll also be revealing my credit score. So what is the credit score? It is a number that lenders use to determine the likelihood that you will pay your debt and pay it on time. So do you need a credit score? You only need a credit score if you're going to be using debt, and credit cards do count as debt. Even if you pay your credit card off every month, it still counts as using debt. A credit card is an all too convenient way to take out a loan. When you use your credit card, you are making a commitment to pay that loan off at the end of the month. But here's the thing. About 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. All it takes is one unexpected event, and then you can't pay your credit card off at the end of that month. Then your balance stays over, you start building up interest, which just adds to the stress of this already unexpected event that happened. So life is unpredictable enough already. When you're using a credit card, you're using debt, and it's like playing with fire, and you're adding risk to life that's already risky just by living. So I would recommend not to use your credit card. Even if you pay that balance off every month, it's still using debt. So you might say, well, I'm only using my credit card for things I would buy anyway. You might be getting rewards, you might be getting cash back. But the thing is, personal finance is more about mindset than it is about math. So the thing with credit cards are using debt. But if you want to change your life, your financial life, and build wealth eventually, the best way to do that, I believe, is to stop using debt. So that means not using your credit cards anymore. So it's more of a mindset thing than it is a math thing. Because when you stop using your credit card, you draw a line in the sand and you say, I am never borrowing money again. And that makes the difference. A few years ago, I was still using my credit cards, and I had 3 of them at a time, and they were maxed out, thousands of dollars in debt. But I stopped using them, and then I started getting them paid off. And something happens with credit cards. Studies have shown that we tend to spend more when we use a credit card. Because when we use a credit card, it doesn't feel like we're actually spending money, because we're not. We're actually taking out a loan. It may be a small loan, it may be a bigger loan, but it's still a loan. So we don't feel an emotional pinch when we use our credit card, because we're not actually spending that money. So I stopped using my credit cards. I got them paid off, and it was kind of an amazing thing that happened, but it wasn't so amazing. Once I stopped using my credit cards, I stopped sending money to banks. I had money then. You have money when you stop sending it to other people in the form of debt. So then I had all my debt I had left was a car loan, and I paid off the last $8,500 in about 3 months. So credit cards are debt. So I would recommend stop using debt, and you stop sending your money to banks. Then you end up with money. So a few years ago, I had a few credit cards, and they were all maxed out. Thousands of dollars in credit card debt. But I made a decision I'm not going to use debt anymore. See, it takes a mindset shift to do that. It's not just a math thing. But I made the decision I'm not borrowing money ever again. So I stopped using my credit cards, and then I started getting them paid off. I mean, it's kind of... There's nothing really magical about it. You want to get your credit cards paid off, you have to stop using them. So I stopped using my credit cards, and I got them paid off. Then the only debt I had left was a car loan, and I paid off the last $8,500 in about 3 months. Because when you stop using debt, you stop sending your money to banks, then you end up with money. So what happens is, once you close your credit cards, you get your car loan paid off, you have no open accounts anywhere. That means you close your credit cards. You can't just pay them off and leave them open. You actually have to close them for this to happen. So what happens when you have no open accounts, you have no payments due anywhere, no debt payments, your credit score will start to go down, and eventually it will be undetermined. It's not zero exactly, but it gets to a point that it takes 6 months to a year, and it gets to a point where they are no longer able to determine your credit score. So that's what happens. I set up a free account with Experian, which is one of the 3 credit bureaus, and this is a screenshot from their website. As you can tell, my credit score is unavailable. So that means it's undetermined. They don't have enough of a credit history on their files anymore to give me a credit rating. My credit score used to be high. I want to say around 750, 800. But see, it didn't go down to zero exactly. It disappeared altogether. So I don't have a low credit score. I have an undetermined credit score. They just don't have anything on file to even give me one. Lenders may question whether you can repay your debt. But see, that doesn't matter to me because I'm not going into debt ever again. The only exception possibly someday is to have a mortgage. So you might be wondering, well, how can I buy a house if I don't have a credit score? Well, there's a difference between having a low credit score and having an undetermined credit score. You want to get your credit, if you decide not to use debt anymore, you want to wait until your score is undetermined. It takes 6 months to a year. Once your score is undetermined, the mortgage company has to do something called manual underwriting. And this is how they used to do it anyway, before they had the credit score, before lenders just looked up your credit score. What they used to do is they would look at things like, do you have money in the bank? Do you have a job that you attend regularly, that you're working? So they just look at things like that. Are you working? Do you have money in the bank? And then they still give you a mortgage. You just have to find the right company. But you can get a house mortgage without a credit score. Here's some of my credit history right here, even though all my accounts are closed. I have 0 open accounts, 11 closed accounts. I believe I had 9 credit cards and 2 car loans. All of that's paid for. Here's my favorite part though right here. I have total debt 0. I have no debt. It is a great feeling not to owe anyone anything. For my credit accounts, I have 9 closed accounts and 2 closed car loans. So it says here again that I have a thin credit file and that I might look somewhat risky to lenders. To that I say good. I'm glad it's like that. And it doesn't matter to me because I'm not going to be asking anyone to lend me money. Do not play. Everyone talks about having a high credit score. You got to build your credit. That's only if you want to go into debt. If you decide that I am not borrowing money ever again, you do not need a credit score. I got one more screenshot I wanted to show you. This might be my favorite one. I just find it amusing. You deserve more credit. Well, that's nice of you, but no thank you. And this is just the homepage of my website. I talk about the mindset of money and how our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are the deeper reasons of why we do what we do with money. Because personal finance is personal. We have all of these beliefs and emotions and feelings about money, and that's why we go out and do what we do with money. Having money problems is just a symptom of something that's going on deeper inside. So that's what I talk about on my website. And I am available as a coach to guide you and help you understand your feelings about money. Because it's not just about mine. It's not just about the math. Personal finance is about mindset and not so much about the math. So thank you for watching. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you.